Hey everybody, welcome back to another daily drop here on TarHeelIllustrated.com. I'm THI publisher Andrew Jones, and the topic today is North Carolina Tar Heels football, specifically running back Omarian Hampton and the passing game. Yes, the passing game. Now, very quickly, last season, Omarion had 29 receptions, 222 yards, and a touchdown. He was targeted 32 times, but I was talking to him last week at the ACC kickoff in Charlotte about becoming a more of the passing game because offensive coordinator Chip Lindsay wants to use running backs in the passing game more than they did last year. And Omarion said that has been one of the main points of emphasis for him this offseason is becoming a better route runner, becoming a better receiver, running more varieties of routes. Most of the stuff he caught last year was in the backfield. And as an example of that, he had 222 yards receiving last year. He had 260 yards after the catch. So specifically, what might you see from him this year that you haven't seen in the past? How about a wheel route? How about Omarian Hampton in a wheel route? If you can get him out there, and there's one or two thin lines of defense to stop him, DBs, that he can run over. Can't you envision Carolina scoring a touchdown on a wheel route to Omarian Hampton? I can. And the running game, as he said, will help this because the more he's a receiver and the more he's utilized in the passing game, the more it's going to, no pun intended, keep parts of the defense on its heels. So they'll be able to run a lot of stuff off some natural sets that a lot of opponents might see, hey, this is Omarion on a dive play. This is Omarion with a counter. This is an inside run to Omarion. He could do a lot of stuff outside of that. So you're going to see him catch the ball on the other side of the line of scrimmage this year. It has been an absolute point of emphasis, and he's very excited about it. And this isn't just an Omarion thing. This is very much a Chip Lindsay thing. And I'm going to go over some numbers here about Chip Lindsay that should make Carolina fans who want to see the running backs incorporating the passing game more, it should make you pretty excited. If you look at Lindsay's prior 5 years solely as an offensive coordinator, 2 at Southern Miss, 1 at Arizona State, 2 at Auburn, the differences are interesting. Last year, Carolina running backs were targeted a total of 52 times with 46 receptions. Omarion had 32 and 29. However, in Lindsay's 5 years as an offensive coordinator at Southern Miss, Arizona State, and Auburn, each season they averaged the running backs being targeted 76 times with 64 receptions. And on top of that, twice he had a running back catch 40 or more passes. And on another occasion, a running back caught 30 or more. In fact, 1 year, I believe it was at Southern Miss, he had a running back with 41 receptions and a running back with 30 receptions. He wants to utilize those guys. He wants to throw that stuff. And I think with a guy like Connor Harrell or a Max Johnson at quarterback, if you can throw to the backs, if you can, A, run the ball successfully, especially between tackles, B, throw to those same running backs who are running between the tackles and have some success with that, it opens up more stuff. And I think it'll allow for some deep balls, which according to Connor, Max throws a great deep ball. According to Max, Connor throws a great deep ball. Oh, and others around the program. They both really like the deep ball these guys both throw. So that's setting that up. Plus, the other caveat to Omarion working so much at his receiving game is how the NFL has changed. You know, we often will ask basketball players about stuff they're working on for the next level. We don't usually ask football players that. So I asked Omarion at the ACC kickoff in Charlotte. And that's where all the receiver stuff came up. And he said, look, the NFL uses receivers differently. You got to be able to catch that ball, and you got to be able to pass check, but you got to be able to catch and turn your nose upfield. And he knows that, and he wants to show that that's what he's all about, because Omarion likely will leave to the NFL after this season, especially if he has another year comparable to last year, which 1,500 yards, pretty good, second highest single season total in Carolina history. And he did hint last week in Charlotte that he wants to go for 2,000 yards this year. But can you imagine if he's at 1,800 yards, but he's got 45 receptions, 42 receptions, and he's got 400 yards receiving or 350 yards receiving, whatever it is. Or if a couple of those wheel routes go and work and he gets off big scores, he could have a highly productive number next to the number of receptions that he has. Plus, there's the first down factor. In fact, last year he had 11 first downs on those 29 receptions, and the 32 drops, or targets rather, no drops. So Omarion could be a weapon, not just running the ball, not just being a 2,000-yard guy, which is, I think, what he hopes to be. He could be an absolute asset in the passing game to help himself, to move the team down the field, but also how other things could play off of that. And don't sleep on Darwin Barlow, the transfer from Southern Cal, being someone who can go out and catch the ball. And do not sleep on true freshman Davion Goss being able to do that some too. He played in a very pass-oriented offense in high school, and there are a lot of similarities with what Carolina does, with what Davion Goss's high school did. So I would not be surprised to see him out there running a few routes as well. I do think we'll see a lot more of it across the board to the running backs, but it begins in that room, no matter what, with Omarian Hampton. If you're excited about Omarion catching more passes, getting into the open field a little bit more, they call it getting into space more than a year ago, then go ahead and click like on this video. Go ahead and sign up to this channel, subscribe, and make sure you hit the notification bell so you get updates every time we upload. And tell every Carolina Tar Heel friend you know that we're here. Let them all know. And tell them to go sign up to our site. Just $8.33 a month, guys. Just $8.33 a month. The same it's been for 10 years. Has not changed price. So go ahead and become a part of our community. I'm AJ. Thank you very much for stopping by.